Toronto winter got me thinking about July. Same view from the condo, different state of mind. OVO, I was watching, yeah, you know the time. Remember when we walked from Giannis Medina? You held my hand like it was 2010. Now the range got heated seats, but my heart's still cold. Miss the way you laughed when I told jokes so. Scotiabank Arena packed, but I feel alone. Got a city on my back, but I'm not home. Your mom still asks about me when we cross paths. Said you moved to Vancouver chasing better math. Grades don't matter when the love was real. Now I'm sipping to your sax, wondering how I feel. 15 missed calls from the label today, but I'd rather hear your voice say I'm okay. The 6 raised me tough, but you showed me soft. Now the penthouse feels empty, worth the cost. Late night drives on a 401, thinking about the damage that I've done. You were my foundation, my beginning. Now I'm just a ghost in your living room. Over your chains heavy, but they ain't got weight. Like the words I never said before you left the gate. Toronto nights got me feeling nostalgic for the girl who knew me before the glossy. Saw your face on my nephew's iPad screen. He said, Uncle Aubrey, that's Miss Karen's queen. Damn, time moves faster than a Rego train. From Union Station to the pain. Got a new girl, but she don't understand why I keep your scarf in the bottom drawer stand. She asks why I stare at a Drake hotel sign. Says I'm living in a different time, but you were there when I was just Aubrey Graham. Not the artist, not the fame, just a boy who loved basketball and poetry. Now the trophies gather dust next to memories of us eating too tweeting 3 a.m. Wiping cheese curds from my chin. Those are real moments, not a Hollywood scene where everybody wants a piece of what I mean. The CN Tower still stands tall in my window view. Nothing's the same without you. Got a world in my palms, but my hands feel empty. Toronto's my city, but my heart's still Century. Garden feelings I should've let go, but some roots run deeper than the subway below. Late night drives on a 401, thinking about the damage that I've done. You were my foundation, my beginning. Now I'm just a ghost in your living room. Over your chains heavy, but they ain't got weight. Like the words I never said before you left the gate. Toronto nights got me feeling nostalgic for the girl who knew me before the glossy. Came from Brampton, you was my real one. Before the money changed the sun. Toronto, always. They say the boy is certified, but I'm still searching. They don't know. I was on Western when that first check clipped. My mama called me screaming, said, boy, you was set for years, but that paper brought some faces I ain't never seen before. Now my contact list got numbers that I can't ignore. I remember rolling Dolo in that old Falco roller. Now his Maybach's in the driveway, still feel like a loner. My day one's acting different, like they can't recall the struggle. Now they talk behind my back, but smile when we in public. I got plaques from every angle, from the doctor overseas, but I'm still up at 4 a.m., can't get no sleep. My accountant talking figures, that should make me feel secure, but I'm inspecting every deal, can't trust it anymore. This foundation that I built with everything I had inside, thought success would heal the wounds, but they just multiplied. And I'm tryna find my way back to when the truth was all we had, before the cameras and the cash, before we all got separate paths. They call me 6 guy, but I'm still praying someday. The view from up here got me seeing different ways. Everybody saying that they love me now, but I don't know who trust when the light go out. I thought this life would feel different, thought I'd finally feel alive, but I'm just trying to survive. Yeah, I'm just trying to survive. My last last ex hit my line talking proud of you and such. But last time we was talking said I'd never be enough. For her family function, now she switching up the story. I seen that same behavior from my so-called day ones. True story, I'm in a Bayview penthouse, staring at the skyline. That same view I used to draw when I was writing punchlines in that basement with 40, trying to make it classic. Now we making magic, but the feeling feels like plastic. My pops told me, son, watch who you let inside your home. Should've listened to his voice, would've saved me from that tone. They be using when they asking for another favor. I got lawyers watching lawyers, got my sister reading paper. People in my ear who never cared about the craft, but they hitting on my phone like we got history in the past. Maybe I'm the one who switched it, maybe I'm to blame. Maybe all this pressure really got me going insane. I just wanna go back to when we wasn't calculating every single move, every step we be taking. I miss the days when we was young and just reckless. Now every move feels scripted, every step feel tested. They call me six guard, but I'm still praying some days. The view from up here got me seeing different ways. Everybody saying that they love me now, but I don't know who to trust when the light go out. I thought this life would feel different, thought I'd finally feel alive, but I'm just trying to survive. Just wanna feel something real inside, but I'm just trying to survive. Yeah, the boy certified, but some days I don't know why. I would trade it all back for that feeling that I had when we was young. That feeling that I had,
Toronto nights, conversations on repeat. Started from the bottom, now we never miss a beat. Phone keeps buzzing, but I leave it on silent. Said you needed space, now you're back to trying. Private flights to Paris, still feel the distance. Money can't replace what we had in an instant. Swimming in success, but drowning in the meaning. Champagne problem got me leaning. Used to count the days, now I'm counting commas. Lost a real one somewhere between the drama. Mom calling, telling me to stay grounded, but when you're at the top, everybody's crowded. Trust issues stacking like records on a shelf. Hard to love somebody when you're fighting with yourself. And I know we could've had it different, but pride got involved. Now I'm sitting with these feelings. No, they reply, but she still cross my mind. Text message therapy at 2 a.m. Stuck between the past and what's ahead. Living in the moment, but I'm sleeping with regret. They reply, yeah, I see you calling. Guard up high, I still feel like falling. Caught between the life I built and what I left behind. They reply, but you still cross my mind. Summer 16, that was peak, that was different. Now it's boardroom meetings, lawyers getting insistent. Ton of Raj around me, but who's really with me? When the camera's off, does anybody get me? Scrolling through the memories stored in my phone. Pictures of a version I don't even know. They want to hold me, but he's gone forever. Can't rewind the clock, only make it better. Studio sessions running past sunrise, making this to cope with what I can't revise. Every verse step, pure beauty, hood confession. Learning hard that money doesn't buy progression. Gold plaques on the wall, platinum education. Sometimes isolation comes with elevation. I've been running from the truth so long, writing verses about the things that went wrong. But healing doesn't come from avoidance. Sometimes silence speaks with more of a voice than all the words I put inside these songs. Maybe growth is just admitting when you're wrong. Yeah. They reply, but you still cross my mind. Text message therapy at 2 a.m. Stuck between the past and what's ahead. Living in the moment, but I'm sleeping with regret. They reply, yeah, I see you calling. Guard up high, I still feel like falling. Caught between the life I built and what I left behind. They reply, but you still cross my mind. 6 in the morning, pen to the pad, writing out apologies I'll never send back. Toronto skyline watching over me. Sometimes success is just expensive company.
Rain tapping on the penthouse window like you used to. Text still unread from yesterday. What's the point of good morning now? Remember Queen Street and 14th? Snow melting on your jacket. We built castles out of coffee cups while the rest of the world passed us. Should've known better than to trust the calendar on my wall. Different city every week, same emptiness to it all. You kept pictures of us in your phone long after we parted ways. I kept the keys to your place for 3 months after you moved away. Money talks, but it never tells you what you really need to hear. Everyone wants something when they see your name appear. Toronto winters taught me how to build warm from nothing at all. But these California nights leave me standing in this empty hall. Tables turn when the spotlight found me. Now you're calling when the silence surrounds me. Different time zone, different truth. Can't keep building on foundations made of loose. I drive past your building just to see if your light's still on. 30 floors up dreaming while I'm standing on the lawn. Got everything they said would make a man complete, but I'm standing in the kitchen with like last night's dinner onion. Yeah, I got the views, but not the sight to see. That all the space between us, isn't meant for me. Met this painter in Berlin who said my smile didn't reach my eyes. Said she see the same look on street performers who memorized all the right moves but forgotten why they started dancing. We spent 3 days just talking how our fathers never lasted. She doesn't know my face, just feels the weight behind my voice. Said it's heavy like the CN Tower when you have no other choice. I told her about the studio at 3 a.m. making something from the air. How I build these bridges hoping someone stays across the water there. But she just nodded slowly while tracing patterns on the glass. Said sometimes the kindest thing is letting broken things just pass. My past was filled with stamps but hollow in the middle pages. Building worlds from samples while real connections slowly fades. Remember when we used to cook at your apartment on that fort? You burned the pasta every time while I pretended not to notice. Now I own that whole building, kept your kitchen just the same. But the silence echoes louder than your laughter ever came. Yeah. I drive past your building just to see if your light's still on. 30 floors up dreaming while I'm standing on the lawn. Got everything they said would make a man complete, but I'm standing in the kitchen with that last night's dinner uneaten. Yeah, I got the views but not the sight to see. That all the space between us isn't meant for me. The light just went off in your window. Guess I'll head home now.
On a late night scrolling through old contacts. Wonder if your new light got better optics. Polaroids on the fridge start to look like fossils. Guess that's what happens when the trust is ours. Spent a summer dodging paparazzi flashes. You were building futures with architectural drafts. Now your life's trapped in somebody else's captions. while I'm reading text with a passion. Lasted 2 years deep, but the wound still bleed. Like that time you left your key under the mat for me. Changed the locks, but the house still breathes your scent. Funny how absence makes the logic bend. Maybe we were just practice rounds for the real thing you found downtown. Do you tell him how I hate the sound of closing doors? Does he know that sound? Yeah, no. This ain't closure, it's a comma in our sentence. Still see your silhouette through the condensation on this glass where I trace your name again. Damn, this comfort in the pain is beautiful affliction. Your ghost writes checks my heart can't catch, but the mortgage on these memories stays mad. She hit your line with that time zone game changer. Now your morning star with different danger. I see the receipts and filtered stories. Your hand replaced by temporary glories. Tell me, does she know your coffee order code, or how you fold your arms when stories get old? Remember that fight in the rain outside the venue. Your mascara bleeding like watercolor blue. Said we built something permanent. Now I'm standing in a blueprint ruins. Funny how the strongest foundation still crumble when two hearts have separate destinations. Closure, this ain't closure, it's a comma in our sentence. Still see your silhouette through the condensation on this glass where I trace your name again. Damn, this comfort in the pain, did this beautiful affliction. Your ghost write checks my heart can't cash, but the mortgage on these memories stays matched. Oh, oh, oh.
Still under, maybe someday.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I felt this way. Scrolling through old texts, late nights replay. Woke up in a suite with the city below, but the silence hits harder than the traffic flow. Remember when we argue over nothing at all? Now it's just echoes bouncing off these walls. I built this empire from the ground up slow, but every win feels like I'm paying what our old friends turn to numbers. Trust gets thin, wondering if the real me's lost in the spin. And I keep moving, can't afford to stall, but these thoughts creep in when the lights get small. Trying to piece it together, make it make sense. Before the next flight, before the pretense. It's the weight of it all pulling me under. Moments we share, not just distant thunder. I chase the high, but it leaves me wondering if the path I'm on is worth the surrendering. Yeah, the highs and the lows, they blend in the end. Hoping for peace around the next bend. Late calls from the team, deal stacking high, but your voice in my head asking why I try. Sacrifice weekends for the spotlight's grip. Now I'm questioning if it's worth the trip. Pouring out verses like confessions in ink. Hide in the cracks where the doubts start to sink. From the six to the world, it's a lonely climb. Trading real connections for borrowed time. What if I slow down, let the world fade out? Face the mirror without a crowd shout. No more masks, just the truth laid bare. Finding balance in the chaos everywhere. It's the weight of it all pulling me under. Moments we shared, not just distant thunder. I chase the high, but it leaves me wondering if the path I'm on is worth the surrendering. Yeah, the highs and the lows, they blend in the end. Hoping for peace around the next bend. Yeah, oh, around the next bend. Until then, I'm just riding this line. Dream missed calls from the number I say that's don't answer. Your phone says she back in missing, it's all good. Voice memo to myself, say remember what you promised, but the promises sound different when the crowd starts screaming. I text you up at 2:47, Ray received immediate. She typing and stopped and started getting into the ritual. I'm at the pounds, level floor to ceiling, showing the garden. Traffic still moving even when the world go quiet. My accountant say we up, but my spirit doing all this. Every like of transactions, every post a different margin. Say you changed, she ain't wrong, but the old me couldn't afford it. Now I got a kind of silence that cost more than any chorus. I keep my old phone just to scroll to who I was. The contacts I don't text, the conversations that I lost. Maybe I miss you from 2012, hitting different now. The signal strong, but the connection got me questioning how. This ain't the light that I projected on that CRT TV. Back when the grassy check barely covered the studio fee. Now I got a concierge asking, sir, you need anything? And all I need is someone who don't need a central trumpet. Say the six is buzzing, but the noise feel like a blanket. I know every face inside the club, but I shake this feeling nameless. My driver know the route to every venue in the playlist. But asking where peace reside, he look at me like I speak ancient. She got a new man driving behind her, work it good life. Post stories with him smiling, cashing, finally got my good life. I double tap from the tour bus and block her from my inside. This algorithm of attachment in the age of highlight. My own life from just so the rest is just a rental. But the contract I signed didn't come with no instrumental. Every feature that I do, they want the Drake aesthetic. But the Drake aesthetic's just a boy who never felt accepted. This ain't the light that I projected on that CRT TV. Back when the grassy checks barely covered the studio fee. Lock at the concierge asking, sir, you need anything? And all I need is someone who don't need a single thing from me. This shit no strong, but then that shit got me questioning how. Taking my old phone just to scroll through who I was. This shit no strong, but then that shit got me questioning how.
Hey, it's me. I know you probably won't get this till after the show. I saw your story. I'm glad you're good. I'm still in the same place. Different area code though. Anyway, delete this or don't.